Fed up and dejected about the miserable weather this weekend, unable to get out on your bike yet still need a biking fix? Yeah, me too. Well, in that case, this video is for you. Stick around, stay tuned. Andy, roll the intro.
Hey kids, it's the Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well.
And welcome back to the garage. Thank you, John, by the way, and more from him a bit later. Anyway, a few things that I want to cover up today on this cover off on this video today. So first off, I've got some questions that I want to answer about my newly restored to the garage, my Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, my custom bike. I put out a video on that a few days ago, got loads of views, loads of responses. There were some sort of common themes that came up, so I want to go through some of those common questions, show you some bits and pieces on there that came up as well. So that's the first thing. Even though it's absolutely horrible today, we're on the back end of Storm Benjamin, I think it's called. It's horrible outside, it's raining, it's grim. I thought I'd come in the garage and make this video for you. But if you still need a bit of a biking fix, I did get out on the mighty GS only yesterday, actually, when it was actually a little bit of a sunny lull in the storm. So I went out for a ride on that, so I've got a bit of a vlog for you coming up as well. And then I've got a couple of new gadgets in the garage that I'm thinking about using. Just want to run those by you, see what you think of those. All right, so stick around, stay tuned. Let's start off then with the Enfield. Right, I'll make my way over to the Enfield in a second, but before then, there's just something I wanted to talk to you about. You see my bikes here in the garage. I know there's that thing, isn't there, about looking back at your bikes in the garage. Do your bikes, you know, do you like the looks of them sufficiently that you are going to look back at them when you walk out of the garage? Well, I'm really pleased to say, at the moment, with all my bikes, I am in that lucky position that I do look back at all my bikes. So we've got Mrs. Flyer's Kawasaki in here, so I don't look back at that. That's her bike, that's her business. But my Kawasaki Z900 RS, I think looks absolutely gorgeous, and I certainly enjoy looking back at that whenever I've had a ride out on her. Same thing for the amazing Ducati V4S. Beautiful bikes, absolutely lovely. I really love riding this. It's an absolute animal and a weapon, as you can imagine. And then, of course, my big new R1250 GS, of which more later when we get to the vlog section of the video. Loving that bike. Only got it this year, as I did the Ducati, by the way. So they're all still feeling quite new to me. And then, of course, there is the beautiful, in my eyes at least, not in everybody else's, but in mine, the Royal Enfield Interceptor, which is what I wanted to talk to you about now. Some of the things that came up in that recent video. I think that looks beautiful as well. So basically, my point is, I'm in the very happy position of, I can't think of any other bikes at the moment I'd rather own than the ones I've got. These are kind of my top 4 bikes, if you like. I mean, if I had unlimited space, unlimited money, there would be other bikes I'd have. I'd certainly like a new Ducati Monster, for example. I would like, in fact, I think there's a new one of those coming out very soon, so more on that on the channel, no doubt. I'd love to have a Goldwing back if I had room and money to have one sat around just for the odd trip once a year on it. And there are some other bikes as well that I'd love. But yeah, my sort of top 4 bikes that I definitely want to own are the ones that I have. So what a happy position to be in. And I just love the whole ownership experience as well about having bikes. I mean, none of these bikes, because of what I do, you know, reviewing bikes, I don't ride my own bikes that much. I'm lucky if I do 1,000 miles a year on any individual one. The GS I'll probably do a few thousand miles on because that is a big mile muncher, but the rest, 400 or 500 miles max, I imagine. So you could say they're pretty much garage queens, which is a shame, but that is just the state of affairs I find myself in. But I love owning them. Anyway, just a small point. I don't know if you feel the same about that, because I know there are some YouTubers and journos out there that don't actually own their own bikes. They just rely on loan bikes. Or for me, that would be most disappointing. I love just coming in here, looking at my bikes, touching them, feeling them, having a chat to them. Anyway, is it just me? I just wondered. I thought I'd pose that. Right, anyway, on to the Interceptor then. A few things that came up on that video that were sort of common themes. First off, lots of people said, is that number plate legal at that angle? And I know there was a shot of it and it looked like it was out almost horizontal. That's because it's only on this very simple bracket that I made, and it does move up and down a bit. So I've bent it down a little bit, and as you can see, when you look at it from behind, you can actually read it clearly. So I'm pretty sure that's all right. I've never been pulled over with it, and yeah, it's just a matter of making sure it clears the tyre, of course. If there's any suspension give, you don't want to catch on the tyre. But it also acts as a rather useful additional mudguard, so I quite like that. Some people said they'd rather see it mounted down low level, as some people like. I don't like that personally. I like the symmetrical look, looking back at it like that. Anyway, whilst I'm talking about the number plate, a number of people have often said to me, why don't I trim the number plate screws down? Well, you'll be glad to see, look, I have cut them off. So that's all a bit tidy there as well. It's amazing how many times people said, when are you going to chop down those screws? So that's been done. Probably the easiest job I've ever done on the bike. All right, moving on. But still talking about the back end of the bike, lots of people said, I can't see any rear lights. How can that be legal? You've got no indicators and no rear light or brake light on it. Well, that's not true. You just weren't looking close enough. So you can actually see from this angle, look, the rear light is chased into the rear hoop here. I'll turn her on in a second so you can see it. That's both a rear running light and a brake light. Then the indicators are these little tiny bits just here. Look, that's the indicators. So you can barely see them. So you're right to not see them. Look, if you look at it like that, you can't see them. But they are super bright. If I turn the bike on, and then indicate, you can see we've got the bar end ones which are really bright, and you can see from the rear and from the front. So I love those on the front. And then when you come down to the back, you see how bright that little indicator is. It's absolutely stonking. And there you can see the rear light in action. So it's not daytime only. You can run this bike at night, and that is also, as I say, a brake light. Can't get my leg around there to press the brake, but obviously it goes brighter. So yeah, so really bright little indicators. I think they're from Moto Gadget or Engadget, something like that. Hideously expensive, of course, because they're custom ones, but as you can see, very bright indicators. So yeah, so that was something else that came up. Right, next thing that a number of people asked me about was what are the tyres that I've got on the bike? What are the type, make, etc. I couldn't remember. In fact, where's the best way to go? I'll come around this side. These are they're from Heidenau. So I did tell a few people that, but I couldn't tell you what the model was because I didn't know it off the top of my head. But looking at them now, they are Heidenau K60s. And these are just looking at the size on here. I've got 110/8018 on the front, and these are just the standard wheels, by the way. These have just been painted. They're not different wheels. They are the standard Royal Enfield ones. And on the back, I've got a 140/8018. So I don't know if they're exactly the right size for the rims that come as standard, but I'm assured they do fit on there. I don't know if they're slightly an inch bigger or an inch smaller or whatever, but anyway, they're absolutely fine. I think they look great, and at the end of the day, this bike is all about looks, really. So it works for me. I don't know how good they would be off-road. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to try the bike off-road, but on-road, even though they're knobblies, they handle absolutely fine, even in the wet, and I don't hear any sort of rumbling from them. It doesn't handle funny. When I first put them on there, I thought that might be an issue, but actually, they're great as road tyres, so I thoroughly recommend them if you fancy some sort of scrambler style tyres on your Enfield Interceptor. Another couple of things that came up down the front end of the bike was firstly this bar on the handlebars here. It is a bit curved, which some people like, some people didn't. I don't mind it. I thought it was a bit odd to start with, but I'm okay with it. I'm happy that it's welded on, not bolted on. Some people asked, when you're riding the bike, did it not block the dials? Well, when you're riding it, you're in about this angle, so no, it doesn't block it. I think maybe it looked blocked before when you saw me with the helmet camera, because the helmet camera is mounted a bit lower. So no, it doesn't obscure the view of those at all, so that's absolutely fine. And then some other people said what I needed to do to finish the bike off, whoops, bang the camera, sorry, is to put a headlight grille on the front. Well, I did used to have one on there, but I ended up taking it off because I just thought it looked a bit cheap and tacky. Right, almost vlog time on the Mighty GS, but before we go, something I've noticed this year, I wonder if you've noticed it too, is the abundance of little strange flies that have been around in the last couple of weeks, that when you ride your bike at any time of day, you end up getting covered in these little white smutty marks. I'll show you, look, on the GS they're quite obvious, because it being a black bike. I'm hoping you can see them with this camera. See on the screen there, all these little white marks, or down here, look, on the headlight, and down here. This is just after the ride that I'm going to show you in a second. See them on the front there? They just wipe off. They're not, you know, they're not sticky and gooey like normal flies. They just seem to be like dusty marks. Very, very strange. I've never seen anything quite like that. I thought this year was actually very, not that many flies around. Usually you used to get loads of flies on your windscreen and stuff. I didn't notice that on my evening rides this past summer so much. And it was noticeable in that you didn't get them, or indeed on your visor so much. But now these little white smuts on your visor and on your bike, they're everywhere. Or is that just me? Anyway, enough of my whinging. Let's go out for a ride, shall we? So I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I hate this time of year. Summer's over, we're into autumn, and what that means to me is that winter is just around the corner, and a lot of the time the weather in Blighty is absolutely pants. Oh crikey, I'm stuck behind a van. Brilliant. Just the thing I need to lift my spirits. Actually, the thing I need to lift my spirits is to get out on my bike, and that's what I've done today. As you can see, I'm recording this bit the day before I did the bit in the garage. I'm expecting tomorrow is going to be absolutely chucking it down all day, so I won't be going out on my bikes for fun. Sometimes I go out to the race course because I've got a bike I have to review or whatever. I did that last week. It wasn't a lot of fun, but nonetheless had to be done. But if you do get one of these days where it says it's going to be dry, I can't help myself but to come out. I mean, look at this now. I say I don't like this time of year, but the leaves down this particular road, okay, I'm riding against the sunshine, but if the sun's not in your face, it's absolutely stunning down here. hopefully maybe on the 360 camera that's facing me you can see the leaves behind me, which will be a bit more in the sunshine perhaps. Absolutely lovely. And as I look across the valley over there, as I'll let that van go ahead a bit, check that out, absolutely glorious. So I can't miss an opportunity to come out on a bike when it's like this. And look, it is dry under tyre as well, it's been wet for ages, but yeah, today dry. So anyway, I thought I'd come out just for the hell of it. Nothing particularly to talk about or do or places to go, just ride a bit randomly, do a bit of a vlog, have a bit of a chat to you fellas and ladies, kids, old people, everybody in between, cats, dogs. Yeah, okay mate, you're rambling there. Alright, look, more of these lovely trees, you get the idea. So autumn does have its place, but I must admit I'm thinking more and more about disappearing for larger chunks of the winter than I had been contemplating over the last few years. I was lucky enough this year to go away to Spain for 6 weeks in the winter, took a couple of bikes, it was absolutely fantastic, made some videos on that. If you didn't see them and you're interested, do go and check those out. Maybe I'll put a link in the corner if I can find them. And then recently I've been watching a guy on YouTube, I can't remember what his name is unfortunately, he's just started making videos about moving to Spain full time. So happens he is a bike rider, he has a Harley Davidson, but it's not featured on his videos yet, although I have asked him if he would do a video about it. But anyway, he moved to Spain, maybe after this one. Yeah, he moved to Spain I think about 3 years ago, and he's basically just saying how it suited him and his wife. Obviously it doesn't suit everybody, and I'm not thinking about moving there permanently, but a few weeks before Christmas and then a month or two after Christmas each year, if you could possibly wangle it, would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And in the summer, frankly, I'm quite happy to stick around here because it's lovely. But yeah, once another month goes, we're going to lose, you know, the clocks I think change next weekend. It's going to be dark at 4 o'clock-ish, and in the depths of winter it gets dark sometimes earlier than that. And that's when my seasonally affected disorder kicks right in. You know, I don't know where I'm riding to. I'm just making the most of this nice bit of weather. I wasn't going to actually record anything, I was just going to come out and ride for the halibut. You know, sometimes, you know, I don't actually get to ride bikes that often, particularly my own bikes, just for the fun of it without recording anything. But if I do, I'm usually coming out with Mrs. Flyer on her bike. So this time, as she was busy doing something at home, I was coming out on my own. I thought I'd bring you along for a bit of company. I've been through here many times in my videos before. I know if you're watching from overseas, these sorts of places look quaint to you. They look quaint to me. It's lovely here. This is a place called West Wickham, which is just to the west of High Wycombe, appropriately enough. Thank you, madam. And it is a lovely little town. But if you keep on going in this general direction, I think technically this may be the A40, I'm not sure, then oh, I nearly squirted past him then, but he went for the speed up option. Yeah, if you keep heading in this direction, you end up in sort of Oxfordshire, keep going out west, Cotswolds, and then eventually you hit Wales. So the good riding starts down here, you know what I mean? Now, yeah, hopefully you get some views in the sunshine now. There is some blue sky about of some of these actually magnificent leaves. I wonder where the best place in the world to see autumn leaves is. We were in Japan, of course, a couple of years ago at autumn. Some amazing leaves there. We just caught part of it. If you didn't see that series, that was a motorcycling series, our trip to Japan. I think it was one of the best trips we've ever done. Put quite a lot of effort into those videos. As ever with touring videos, didn't get watched that much, but again, I'll put a link in the corner to that series if you're interested. It wasn't just about autumn leaves there, but everything else. Just a fascinating place to ride around. And of course another place that I think is pretty good for autumn leaves, places like New England in the US. It's the other place that people often talk about, isn't it? Go to places like Boston to see the fall, as our American cousins call it. What's that all about? Why is it called the fall? Doesn't make any sense, does it? If you are an American and you know why you call it the fall and not autumn, please do let me know in the comments below. I'm not sure autumn makes much sense either, does it? So I shouldn't go on about it too much. Now, of course, I'm out on my trusty GS, a bike that I've ridden nowhere near as much as I would like to have done since I bought it. I only bought it this year, having been a long-term GS fan. Had the R1200 GS before this, of course. I had that for about 10 years, maybe more. What was it, 2013? Yeah, actually more than 10 years, 11 years. Absolutely nothing wrong with that bike, absolutely loved it. But I had been pondering an upgrade because it was starting to get a bit long in the tooth, and I've always loved the 1250, which is what this is. And I'm really chuffed that I found such a good version, or good example, I should say, of the bike. Fair enough, I bought this one second hand, and it only had a few thousand miles on it when I bought it, and it was in, to my eyes, you know, good as new condition. And the dealer who I knew the dealer principal of said that he thought it was a particularly good one, so I sort of snapped it up, bit his arm off, and I'm really glad I did, because it still looks as good as new to me. And I absolutely love this bike. It's brilliant with Mrs. Flyer on the back. It's got all the things I need and nothing else besides, most importantly, heated grips and heated seat. That works really well for me. The level of electronics on it is just right. The only thing I'm really missing is radar cruise control, but I have got cruise control. Other than that, this bike is perfect for me, so I can see this lasting with me for another 10 or 11 years. Hopefully there'll be another generation of GS out by then that I might prefer and I can upgrade to then. I'm not a huge fan of the current 1300s, I have to say. Nothing wrong with them, they ride absolutely beautiful, let's not get into that. I just don't like the looks of them very much. Often people think I'm being a bit hypocritical there, because how can this bike possibly be good looking? And yeah, I get that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's depends what you like, doesn't it? I think these look like sort of purposeful and, well, fit for purpose. Isn't that what purposeful means? And yeah, I quite like them. They're not beautiful, obviously, not Ducati beautiful, but they do look rugged, and not only that, they just do the job well. And you can pick them up for reasonable money. I think I paid about 15 grand for this one second hand. You know, nearly new in my mind. A couple of years old. There are, you know, loads of these on the market now, so you can find them. Anyway, the reason why I mention the GS is, one, because I'm on it, but also there's work being done on this bike next week. I'm not quite sure when this video is going up. I think I'll probably try and get it up quite soon, so it's current. But yeah, I'm taking this bike up to a bike thing, which are up in the Midlands somewhere, I think up near Burton-on-Trent Way, Derbyshire. We'll just notice the battery's about to run out on my 360 camera, so we might lose that view soon, so thank you 360 camera. Anyway, you're going up to see Steve up at a bike thing, and he's going to fit some bits and bobs on the bike that I've been after. I'm going to have to overtake this vehicle in a second as soon as I get a clear view. So I'm going to get some more lights. You can't have too many lights, can you, on a GS? One of those stonking horns, the name of which I can't remember, but it'll come to me in a minute. The fancy electronic wiring loom thing that gives me access to all sorts of fun features. And anyway, that's happening next week, so I'll tell you more about that. In fact, I'll probably make a video while I'm up there. I'll take the bike up in the trailer, because again, I think the weather forecast next week is terrible. Plus, I'm going to want to bring things back, because he's also, well, most importantly, putting a new exhaust on here. This has got the standard exhaust on, and it's fine, it sounds okay. What I don't like about it is because I've been blacking this bike out, it's got that horrible silver finish on it, and I'd love to get rid of that. So he's going to put on a Jekyll and Hyde exhaust, which is beautifully finished in black. And the reason why I'm going for that rather than, say, an Akrapovic is because it's a Jekyll and Hyde. That means you can have the volume up or down. It's got two characters, hence Jekyll and Hyde, and a button that you press to open a little flap in it. So if you're on tour, you can have it in quiet mode, or if you want to be a bit more of a hooligan, you can have it in hooligan mode. That's basically how it works, I think. But again, as I say, more about that next week when I do that video. But I used to have a loud exhaust on my other R1200 GS, and I had it on for about a year, and I went on tour with it. In the end, it was just so loud. It was an Arrow exhaust I had on that. It looked nice, but it just wasn't good on tour. It got too loud and too grating. So I do think if you're going to change your exhaust on a touring bike, you have to think about it very carefully. Anyway, so that's coming along with the other electronics next week, so I'll bring you a video about that at the time. Well, sadly, I'm stuck in this 30-mile-an-hour area, stuck behind this car, and stuff doesn't improve for a while. So I think what I'll do, I'll leave it there for now. I'll turn the cameras off,
Send you back to the garage. And yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the ride for the sake of going for a ride.
And enjoy the rest of the ride I did. In fact, I did about 100 miles yesterday, just locally, scooted about for the heck of it on the GS. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and looking at the weather forecast, no idea when I get the chance to do it again, because it was lovely out there yesterday, and it's absolutely horrible now. Anyway, I said I wanted to show you a couple of new gadgets that I've got. So they're over here. First off, this is a new sat-nav. This is the Aoocci C3 Plus. Now, you may remember, over on my Kawasaki, I'll come over here, I've got an Aoocci C3. Here we go. I used it in Spain. A brilliant little thing. Gives you Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that sort of thing. And I've been banging on about how good they are and great value. That one on the Kawasaki is about 75 quid. I've got a discount code that reduces the price. In fact, I'll talk more about that in a second. But this one here, I've got this specifically for Mrs. Flyer's Kawasaki for when we go to Spain to make sure she's got some nav. Now, as I say, that is called the Plus, and it's had some improvements. Let me tell you what they are very briefly. All right, I had a mail about the improvements. So the things that have been improved are the touchscreen bonding has changed from frame bonding to full bonding. And what that means is you've got an improved visual effect, makes the screen brighter, basically. The overall case thickness has been reduced, making the whole thing slimmer. It's now got TPMS, tyre pressure monitoring system included as well. And the UI has been upgraded, apparently. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I've got myself a USB connector for it as well. And I've got a USB that I'm going to get Nigel to install when he does the service on Carol's Kawasaki next week. So that we can get that all properly wired into a switch live, you know, so that when you turn the ignition on, it comes on, and when you turn the ignition off, it goes off, so you're not draining the battery, all that sort of thing. So that's going on there. And if you fancy one of these, as I say, for a limited period only, I've got a special discount of 26%. So it'll be even less than the 175 quid or thereabouts that it came out at. Not 175 quid, 75 quid or thereabouts. It's that sort of figure, but with the 26% discount, it's going to be even less. It's basically a no-brainer for a gadget like this. If you use the code TMF26 between now and November the 5th, you can get, I think it's 25% off CPMG devices or 26% off of Aoocci ones, something like that. Anyway, follow the links below, details below in the write-up. 26% limited time only. The other gadget I wanted to show you, something that only came out yesterday, Friday, in fact, is in this pack here. Let me put the camera down and I'll show you it. So this, as you can see from the pack, is from Kais. Again, I haven't used it yet. It's just something I'm intrigued about, but it's something that's going to be useful for winter. Check that out. Here we go. I drag it out the bag. There's some electronic cables to connect and a nice bag that you can use for other stuff and some instructions. Basically what it is, it's a heated seat. So what you do, you strap it onto your existing seat. You've got the little socket there is what the electrics plug it into your bike to warm the thing up. And then there's another bit somewhere like a valve that you plug that into and basically pump it up to give it some extra, well, padding basically. So there you go. It's basically a portable, mobile, heated seat to go on any bike you like. Now, Mrs. Flyer hasn't got a heated seat on a Kawasaki, so I was thinking of trying it on there. But what do you think to the principle? I'm not too sure. When Kai said, do you want to have a go? I said, well, I'll give it a go, but I don't know if it's for me because it might be a bit faffy. But, you know, if you've got power on your bike and you do suffer from a chilly backside, then I think that might be worth a go. Anyway, only came out, as I say, yesterday, Friday was when it was released. Yet to try it. I'll give you more on it when I've given it a go.
Alrighty, that's it for now. Just a sort of a random video. Hope you enjoyed it. Bit rambling, but sometimes these sorts of rambling stream of consciousness videos are just what the doctor ordered, aren't they? I like watching them anyway. But hope you do too. Check out these trees now, look absolutely beautiful. Anyway, massive thanks to you for watching the video. Thank you to Chopsy too for taking part in the opening of the video. Stick around and stay tuned to the very end of the video. And you can see how easy it was for Chopsy to actually make that little intro. Alright, till next time, this has been the Mr. Fly. Cheerio.
Kids, it's the Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well. That's all you're saying, okay? Oh, and you've got to start with your head looking at a bike. You move it to the camera and go, okay?
Oh, what, so like that, and then pull back?
No, just your head. That's the. Oh, if you okay. So I can make it easy. I'll hold it for you, right? So there you go. So you're going to look at the bike, you're going to turn, and you go, hey kids, it's Mr. Flyer, hope you're well, okay? But in a jolly, sort of engaging way.
We'll do a couple of times.
Okay, action.
Hi kids, Mr. Flyer, hope you're well. That's wrong already, isn't it?
Hey kids, hey, it's very, hey kids, This is gonna.
Hey kids, it's the Mr. Flyer. I've gone, what's the bit?
Hope you're well. God,
This
no,
is
it's not
I
hard,
am a
is it? It's
professional.
not hard,
I am a
is it?
professional.
Take as me a touch. Just crack on.
Hey kids, it's the Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well. Welcome to what's that?
Yeah, no, that was good. I'll do a few and then I'll select the best.
Okay, mate. Hey kids, it's the Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well. Let's do that again. That's
A
terrible.
bit more emotion.
Hey kids, it's the Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well. I'll do one more. I'll do one more.
That was. I think that's the usable one, but
Hey kids, it's Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well.
perfect.
That'll do
Thank
it
you very
for
much.
it.
That's good. That's good. So it's sort of. Hey kids, Mr. Flyer here. Hope you're well. So it's a sort of that sort of thing. Anyway,
Go on, give it back. Give it back. Give it back. Hey kids, the Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well. Now we'll do it again.
it's the Mr. Flyer.
Hey kids, it's the Mr. Flyer. Hope you're well. That one too bad.
That's
That
the
was
one,
a little.
right.
That's the one. That's the one.
The end. Right. Good. Okay. So.